things happening to you. Somebody praise God. You don't just show up. God fools you into what he wants you to have. Hey. Tell somebody close to you, get ready for the greater favor of God. Manifesting on your life. Kind acts. Parental treatment. The best for less. Somebody using their power and influence and ability to help you. They may be in different place, a different color, a foreign will be used to help you. Hallelujah. Areas that can't seem to unravel in the house, God gonna do some favor in that house. And gonna fix what two heads can't fix. Come on, praise Him. Hallelujah. There's a favor for you. And I'm gonna show you how wisdom relates to it, so we ain't just getting excited on it. We will have footprints that we will walk that show us this is how God wants us to get there. It may be some just small adjustments you have to make. May don't be some overwhelming, just some little adjustments. And you'll be amazed how just little things, the Bible says little foxes that spoil the whole body. Sometimes the enemy can just use little unforgiveness, hold you hostage to your future. Little bitterness. You know, that's like a little cyanide. Can you take a little bit of cyanide? Then you can't have a little bit of bitterness in you. And it don't spoil everything in your body, in your spirit, and in your mind. Let's move on into this. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 11. The Bible tells us wisdom is a defense, isn't it? Hallelujah to Jesus. This is our mission statement that we're ministering from. Verse 11 of Ecclesiastes. It said, wisdom is good with an inheritance and profitable to those who see the sun. For wisdom, come on, read verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, as money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is this: wisdom gives life to those who have it. Somebody praise God that wisdom giving you life to those who have it. How do it relate, wisdom and God's favor, though? How do that relate? Let's see in Proverbs 22, because it said wisdom is a defense and money. So a comparison was wisdom and money. It's a force. It's a weapon, right? Then Proverbs 22 verse 1 tells us something as well. Proverbs 22 and verse 1. The Bible there says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. What? A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. In other words, if you have a choice, it say keep a good name over riches. Why? Because if your name stay good, riches will follow you. Love and favor. What did it say about favor? See, God got to get you at the place that you start loving favor, and you will love it when you see what it does. Love and favor rather than silver and gold. Rather than silver and gold, which represent what? Money, riches. That's right, same thing. So it says, put favor over riches. Now, in the natural scheme of things, you won't do that without understanding, without wisdom. And that's why favor is so low in the kingdom. And sporadic, you find it here and there, but there's not a lot of men and women walking in the favor of God that should be walking in it, because favor don't have its place in their understanding. What is it? Kind acts. Peripheral treatment. Where God began to get involved. Every man and woman of destiny, every man and woman that God called to do anything, He raised people up and give you favor with. I don't care what it is you're doing. There's somebody you need favor with to help you get there, or to fulfill it, or to do it. I don't care what it is. From domestic to international, you need somebody who's called along who will be there to give you favor in what you're trying to get accomplished and do. Every one of us need it. So then that means there's some adjustments we got to mentally make. Isn't that right? Well, that means we got to put favor in the place where we got money only. Money, honey. Hallelujah. Thank God for money, but we understand it's a servant. And it can't take the place of what God has made about it. Now, why God tell you to put favor in a place where you don't put money? If you'll notice that money is really consistent of nothing but paper, as we know it. And behind that paper is a system. It's worthless. It's a system that's making it mean something to us. And unfortunately, without God helping us, it will mean too much. And we'll do some ruthless things, some cruel things. We'll hurt people just for some more money. Talk to me. We'll lie to our best friend for money. Enough of it. If God will help you. Why y'all looking at me like that? You know I'm telling the truth. So why did God help you to understand? Notice that in heaven, ain't no money up there. No greenbacks. No dead presidents with paper on them. And ain't no money in heaven. Gold is there. Silver. Precious things. That we really know that that's really what makes money worth something in the earth. If that ain't backing it, money is worthless. True. But it'll control you if you don't know the place of it. And I'm going to tell you that if God don't help you, money will just run your life till it ruin you. Another subject. Let's go on here now with this paper. Let's look now at another passage of scripture that's going to guide us further into this lesson today. And that is Proverbs 3, verses 1 through 4. Look at what you give. Cash. The Lord is good, ain't it? I'm telling you about money and the cash app come up there. Okay? The Lord is good. Proverbs 3, verses 1 through 4. It says, "My son, do not forget my law, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace they will add to you." How many got that revelation real quick right there? That God don't decide how long you live.
Amen.
That's religion that believe that. God don't decide how long you live. Because he said, if you learn how to keep my commandments and my laws, it will increase wisdom in your heart, and wisdom will lengthen your days on the earth. So who that left up to? You and me that keep his laws. Then in Holy Ecclesiastes he said, why die before you die? So it certainly can't be left up to God. You can act a fool and die real quick. God ain't nowhere around. Can I get smell? While the young died, they might have been very foolish. Except the mercies of God cover us. Many of you in this place today, you wouldn't be here. Mercy covered you in your foolishness. It was the mercy of God. It wasn't nothing you done in and of yourself. It was through prayers of parents, grandfathers, grandmothers. Prayers covered you while you were foolish. And God's plan for you, the enemy was trying to circumvent it, and the Lord wouldn't let him, and the church is. What the next verse says, they said, "Let not mercy and truth forsake you." What we need in us? Mercy. Do you know you can get elevated in life that you forget about mercy and truth? You can go out enough stuff and things that you begin to allow it to redefine who you are and how you treat people. To the point that you're no longer merciful. You're no longer walking in the truth you know. But he said that we need mercy and truth. He said, bind them around your neck, write them on the tables of your heart. Why? And so you find favor and high esteem in the sight of God and man. Notice what he said. You'll find favor. So we see the relating of wisdom with favor. Following in this instruction, doing what was it? Learning the word of God, keeping the word that you learn, living merciful, being truthful. How do you know it's more convenient to lie than to tell the truth? So on purpose, you have to work on telling the truth. You don't have to work on not lying. I kind of lost a little bit on that side, so I'm going to walk on this side. I say you have to work on telling the truth. You don't have to work on lying. You just do it. Because it's the culture and the atmosphere of this world make it very conducive to tell a lie. But if you're going to find favor, you got to get lying out your mouth. See, I told you you have to do some adjustments you have to make. Why walk in faith? Well, you might be lying throughout the week. I said you might be. I didn't say you was. But I'm telling you now, it is very easy. Society teach you it's okay to lie. Let's move on. Let's look at Proverbs 8. Notice what he said, favor with God and man. Ah, there you go. There you go. That's the place we want to get today. And you're going to get there. Every one of you in this place today under the sound of my voice, you're going to get there because God is willing that to you. Even if you think I don't deserve it, none of us really do. Hallelujah. But it's out of his goodness and his love kindness. He made us acceptable. Yes. Hallelujah. We need favor with God and man. It's one thing to say I got favor with God, but if you have favor with God, men will have to begin to respond to it. Yeah, no matter what gender, color, race, none of that is a barrier. If the favor of God come upon you, men must respond to you in a favorable way. I need some help. So I'm going to show you something today. You better get it. Some of you, your houses is resting on favor. Some of you, the tuitions for the college is resting on favor. Come on, talk to me. The business you want to take off is resting on favor. Give me some help here. Listen, the door that you need to open up that keep closing on you is resting on favor. And I'm glad I ended up here talking about something I'm thinking about or what I'm studying about. You know I know this. That this is something God did in the first phase of my life. You can't give what you don't have. You got Proverbs 8? Lift those hands up right now. Say, Lord, I receive your favor on my life. I receive your favor on my home. I receive your favor on my affairs. All that concern me, I receive your favor today. In the name of Jesus. Give him praise. Give him praise. I have unction from the Holy One. Decree that thing. Glory to God. There are men and women who will walk out of here with favor on their life. Listen to me. You know what the Bible said in Numbers? It said God is not a man that he can lie, nor the Son of Man that he'll repent. If he said it, will he not do it? If he said it, will he not do it? If God has said what I'm talking about, God will do what I'm talking about. So then your part ain't making this happen. Your part is believing it and receiving That is, they ain't relying on your strength to pull this off. Proverbs 8, you have it? Let's look now at verse, we don't want verse 1 there, we want Proverbs 8 and 35. Thank you. It says, for whosoever, who is a whosoever here? Whosoever, when you hear whosoever, what that make you think about? Anybody. So that means you in the loop. For whosoever finds me finds what? Let's praise God for life. While people are dying all around us, so you know I ain't just being insistent people dying because I've been praying for them. I ain't saying people dying. We are praying for people in their perishing predicament. But at the same time, I'm rejoicing in life. And that life more abundantly. God came to give you life. God came to give us life. God came to show us how to live. God came to give you peace and joy and harmony. You are at your best when you have it. You really don't have to pray hard about somebody that's coming in your life. If they take all your peace and your joy, you say, God didn't send me. I like them. They smile real big on that. Let me say it on this side. I say, you ain't got to pray real hard about somebody to come in your life. If they take all your joy, your peace, your happiness, and harmony, you can say, God didn't send me. So God didn't send them. Where did it come from? Our enemy has sown you. Somebody put you in my garden while I was sleeping. Bribes and sticker bribes and so forth. But he said, whosoever finds me finds life. So, and I mean, when you talk about finding in that sense, there got to be some searching on your part. Endeavor, let's put it like this, endeavor on my part. I ain't just standing back waiting for something to happen. I'm doing something myself too. Right? Yeah, God will do it, but not without my input. Not without my involvement. I got to do something. That's why I said fine. At least I'm pursuing something, right? So that means you got to get a new appetite for favor. You got to get a new hunger for the favor of God. You got to get a new desire for the favor of God. Because there's some things being held up with your name on it right now. And all it takes is favor to move it. You may be looking for a boss to give you a raise when God said promotion comes from me. And God can make up in one day for years of loss. Years of come. Lord, have mercy. I'm getting it on here, but I got to get into this lesson here. Lord, thank you. Thank you, Father. Favor is kindness. It's approval. It's to be like parental treatment, kind acts, good deeds. Amen. It's the beauty of God. You ever heard people talk about it, the beauty of God? You don't believe it? Ask Esther. There was a lot of other beautiful women, but her beauty stood out. You say, why? Favor was on her. That a Persian king said, I must have this woman. Over all the thousands that paraded across in front of him, here come a woman who was a foreigner, but had favor with God. Made a king see her that he couldn't see nobody else. Woo! Sisters, I just gave you a secret how you get your husband. Glory to God. If nobody else, the sisters ought to be shouting in here that's unmarried. Lord, cover his eyes with favor on me. Turn to Genesis, please. Now let's talk about some things here. Genesis chapter 37. We're going to see here a young man by the name of Joseph. Joseph. Amen. Joseph. Hallelujah. And he's going to show us some principles as we study his life. Just him alone. Not counting about all the other people, but just him alone is going to elevate and lift our understanding to the principles of favor that are activated by wisdom, which give us insight. Amen. We see in verse 1 it said, now Jacob dwelled in a land where his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers, and the lad was the son of Bilhah and of the son of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report. I think the King James said evil report. Brought a bad report to his report of them to his father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. Already we see favor. All the rest of them was his children. But right there we see he favored this one over the rest. And the Bible goes on to say, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a tunic or of many colors, or the coat of many colors. And that coat got him in a lot of hot water, didn't it? Real quick. Look at verse 6 of that particular book. Because we see here, he has favor with his father, but at the same time he says, so he said to them, please hear this dream which I dreamed. Go on, please. There were binding sheaves in the field, then behold, my sheaves arose and also stood upright, and indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaves. And his brother said to him, shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us? So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. So now let's see a comparison. At the same time, while he is favored by his father, he's hated by his brothers. At what time? So while you're walking in favor with God, you'll have others sometimes despising you because you got favor. Now it's critical that you learn how to manage and handle people who don't like you, who despise you, who talk evil about you, who criticize you, find fault in you. Listen, if you're going to wear God's favor, you got to know how to handle this. Because most of the time, the people that's hating you and criticizing you, God going to use you to be the solution and the answers to their problems in life at some point in time. And if you're all messed up like they're messed up, then God got to find somebody else for the assignment. He can't use you.